Yo, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Hashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles, the great millstone, number one. Shalom to all the brothers out there doing the work. It's Searing Truth. It's the brother number one from the GMSLondon camp. Just got a little update on this thing that's going on in Venezuela. And it's funny because this situation's been brewing up for like over a year, like for a little while, man. You've been like, you heard about Venezuela, the food crisis. And it's funny because like the reason their economy tanked anyway is because I believe it was either the US or fucking Saudi Arabia. One of them guys flooding the market with with like cheap oil barrels, and that just destroyed Venezuela's economy, which I'm sure the US built them to be reliant on the oil anyway. So it's it's all the setup from the first, where it's like the so-called white man. He's basically controlling these situations. Well, the elites of the Edomites controlling these situations, basically, just to bring them out to their advantage in the end, man. Because, Venezuela's sitting on what I believe is the biggest oil reserve in the world. So, and that's just, just south of the States. So these elites are going to want to lock down these certain locations, these certain, they've got interest in these things. Because, energy. It's people have been dying over that for decades, man. But this is on Reuters, and it says what as tensions over aid rise, Venezuelan troops fire on villages to kill two. They say villages, but man. Well, okay, let me read. It says, a growing share of the country's roughly 30 million people is suffering from malnutrition. And that's true. And a lot of them Venezuelans down there, a bunch of Israelites. So, God wants you to starve. How about that? These guys... Okay, let me continue anyway, man. I don't want to get too many points too quick. It says, what? Venezuelan soldiers opened fire on indigenous people near the border with Brazil on Friday, killing two as President Nicolas Maduro sought to block US-backed efforts to bring aid into his economically devastated land. And they say aid, but, that's more likely than not, they'll just be looking to bring in US interests. An assassination squad or some shit would likely be involved, looking to take out Maduro, man. Because America showed their hand by basically bigging up Guaido. They revealed their hand. It says the United States, which is among dozens of nations to recognize opposition leader Juan Guaido as Venezuela's legitimate president, has been stockpiling aid in the Colombian frontier town of Cucuta to ship across the border this weekend. Yeah, so, all of a sudden, the US, Trump's talking about this fucking wall. But then he's talking about, all of a sudden, he's interested in who's the fucking president in Venezuela, in, sending aids to Venezuela. All this kind of shit. All of a sudden, but then, what about the fucking rest of them countries down there? Is Venezuela the only place that requires aid? You go on I think someone mentioned like in Yemen, I believe there was more than, because they said 30 million people. I think they said there's more than 30 million people that were in trouble in Yemen or something like that. But the US still wants to sell Saudi Arabia weapons and arms to go and blow up some kids in Yemen. So it's not about the actual 30,000 starving people. It's about US interests, man, which is really the interests of the the elite banking families who are in control. It says, with tensions running high after Guaido invoked the constitution to declare an interim presidency last month, Maduro has denied there is a humanitarian crisis in Venezuela, despite widespread shortages of food and medicine and hyperinflation. He says the opposition efforts are a US-backed cheap show. The socialist president who took power in 2013 and was re-elected in an election last year widely viewed as fraudulent, has declared Venezuela's southern border with Brazil closed ahead of the opposition's plan to bring in aid on Saturday. Because the thing is, he knows they're likely going to send in some squads to take him out. Because this is how America gets down. And the thing is, you've got this fluff, media that are basically just going to, just aid, blah, blah, and painting Guaido as the, just the terrible devil for not letting them bring in food to his starving country. But he knows they're out to get him. So he's actually making a relatively smart move. And you got, obviously, you got mainly Russia, China, Iran. They'll be the guys to point out, like, this is just, America and Europe obviously showing their hand. It says what, late on Friday, the government shut the Táchira frontier that connects to Cucuta. How the fuck, ever the fuck you say it. Some political analysts say the looming showdown is less about solving Venezuela's needs and more about testing the military's loyalty to Maduro by daring it to turn the aid away. With inflation running at more than 2 million% a year, our currency controls restricting import of basic goods, a growing share of the country, roughly 30 million people, are suffering from malnutrition. Guaido showed up late on Friday at a fundraising concert in Cucuta, backed by British billionaire Richard Branson, that was estimated to have attracted nearly 200,000 people. His appearance, arm in arm with Colombian President Ivan Duque, was an open challenge. Wait, Guaido? Oh, okay. I was thinking. That Guaido guy is a fucking complete agent, man. He's completely a puppet of the US. How they getting Richard Branson to throw some party for him? And, the Colombian president, who's obviously who's on Washington's nutsack, showing up with him, was obviously, yeah. It's going into the people getting shot. Ugh. But a lot of that is just propaganda, really, because the thing is all this being reported is what shines good on Esau basically being able to go in there and be, like the guiding light, the angel of light just coming in, just like, look, we back the true president who's gonna bring truth, justice, in the American way to a country. But really, this is how Esau gets down. Because the thing is, you go back to ancient Rome. In ancient Rome, the previous beast, the way the so-called white man got down with conquest was, he'd send these armies there. He would smash them, would subject them, and make them, make them, what's the word? Like agents, they'll become part of the empire. They'll become a province of Rome. And now, the way they do it is cheat, a big way through trade, through embargoes. They cut Esau's, basically the elites have set up like they've tried to globalize everything, where you've got big companies that will control a lot of the channels, a lot of the big main parts of trade around the world. And then you're gonna have companies controlling big parts of trade around the world, and then you'll have basically the elites will fucking distracted. They'll control, like, you'll have large companies controlling trade for quite a lot of different products around the world. And then, the elites will be able to, America will say, okay, you're cut off from trade and put an embargo on you, and then it will fuck up your economy in certain aspects. Like with Russia, they put the sanctions on Russia. Then, of course, Russia's got a lot of natural gas But it'll be fucking, then they have to, you know, that's why they'll be making deals with Iran, with different countries that are outside the sphere of influence of the US, to basically get their supplies from. So this is like how the American empire runs, and you know the petrodollar is a big part of that. They'll make sure that you're utilizing, you'll have cash reserves of the petrodollar, so it's your best interest that the way the US runs, that system survives, because that's how your country's invested, man. Then your economy is going to rely on, you know, a lot of trade that stems from the US. So that, you know, that's how this so-called white man now, it's like back at, you know, ancient empire. It's not like the ancient empires. It's now been modernized. You even go to the British Empire, it's the same kind of thing. The area you call the Commonwealth now, a lot of those areas were subjugated by the US. By the US? No, by Britain, when they were in their time of power. And then now they're part of the Commonwealth, because, you know, Esau's basically switched, you know, he switched up the plan. And he's working on different angles now, because his thing is basically getting in that mark, and that's what he's looking to do now, man. But let me read this anyhow. It says, Habakkuk 2:4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So, you know, Esau, the so-called white man, his soul's not upright. That's why he's got that insatiable hunger, man. This guy wants to rule the entire world, man. This guy's going around. He sees any nation or place on earth, he wants it to be his. It says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is hell. Yeah, so he's a proud man. That's why he's getting involved in Venezuela. That's why he's getting involved in Iran. That's why he's getting involved, you know, them Israelis. When, you know, you go back to let's say the 50s, when they're first setting up over there, they were saying, oh, you know, we just poor oppressed, we just want to go back. You know, the British were backing them up, establishing them in that land. You know, the British military was kind of holding it down for them. Now it's like they've become a power. They're looking to just fuck up. They were like, okay, you know, deals meant to be made. Okay, you take that land, we take this land. Then they start, yo, fuck that. We're developing the West Bank, bruv. What you saying something? We're Israelis. You know, this is our land. You know, that's Esau, man. That insatiable hunger, man. He wants the whole earth. And it says what? And is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Yeah, so this guy that's why you get these metropolis cities where you're just gonna have people from all over the world. That's why the UK as well. What they have the Commonwealth. So it's like if you're in the Commonwealth, then it's easy to get transferred over to the UK, man. So you got places like London, where all them previous countries, like you know, you're gonna have Aussies over here, you're gonna have Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, Indians, you know, Nigerians, Ghanaians, all these different, you know, people from all over, these West Indians especially, from all these different places, just hubbing together in London, man. And this is what, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. That's why the thing is that's what's happened with Venezuela. They're saying basically, look, man, fuck y'all. They know what that American, that's why they're saying fuck your aid. Because they know what that, okay, you know, you might get an aid, but then there's something that comes with it, man. And that's basically going to be like, you know, Maduro knows his head's going to have to roll. And then Guaido's going to come. It's the same thing that happened during what they called the Arab Spring, where it's like, okay, all of a sudden, everyone just starts losing their shit and rebelling against the leaders. Then it was just some slick American puppets sliding up in, and then the country's still completely going to shit. But all of a sudden, a pipeline just gets like Libya. That pipeline got hooked up for France, and nice things are going for them. So, you know, this is that's what's going on. This so-called white man, he says, oh, you know, he's coming, his aid, he's saving the world. But all it is business transactions. And it says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Yeah, how long, man? Because everyone's going to be looking to take him down. Everyone's going to be looking at the so-called white man like, fuck this guy. And it says, what? Shall they not rise up suddenly and shall bite thee, and await that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Yeah. So, really, that's how the Lord's got it going down. That's why it says they're going to hate the whore and burn her with fire. Because everyone's going to be like, you know what, fuck this America, fuck these guys. We're going to annihilate these guys, man. And then it's going to turn on it, and it's going to go nuclear, man. That's according to the scriptures, according to the Bible. The Lord said it's going to be a nuclear retribution against these guys, man. So, you know, this is the result of Esau basically, you know, sticking his fingers in every pie. You know, I'll leave it there. I'll say, you know, it's good to keep an eye on the geopolitics, so you know, like, what's going on. You can watch and you'll see, like, it's evident, like, what America's MO is, man. You know, Trump's just doing the work of the elites. But yeah, I'll leave it there, man. I say all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, Kakadash, Dominus, the Apostle, all is a great most time, man. Shalom.